Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Tracy Schreier, and I wanted to share with you something that I was able to do with the help of ChatGPT. I'm sharing this throughout this week and probably even a little bit further in an effort to help promote my upcoming course, which is an online self-study called the ChatGPT Playbook. You can get it now for a reduced price, so grab it before the price goes up. I'll put a link in the comments. But in this video, I wanted to share with you something that I was able to create today with the help of ChatGPT. So let me go ahead and open it. Typically, you can go to chat.openai.com or chatgpt.com and pull it up. I do want to preface this with I have the paid version of ChatGPT, so I do pay $20 a month, and I believe that helps me to be able to do some of what I did in today. So let me go into, here we go. Close this up here. So I want to walk you through what I was able to do. So let me preface this first. So I have classes that I'm teaching at a local university are coming to an end in the next couple of weeks. So this Friday is actually one of the last lesson days that we have for the class, one of the classes that I teach. And what I wanted to do was take for the last, this is week 14, I wanted to take for this last 14 weeks, what is the content that we've covered and give students kind of like a one-pager, an overview of what are some things that we covered, what are some things to be mindful of, and kind of takeaways. The other thing, in addition to understanding, getting that overview or summary of the course and what we did, is that this document should be helpful for them as they enter into the final exam and their personal leadership philosophy paper. So wanted to provide them with some opportunities that will help with that. So I wanted to show you what my thought process was here. So as you can see on the screen, I said I have numerous documents from my course. I'm trying to lay out a one-pager visually on what we learned this semester. How can I best provide the data or details to you? Now I knew by saying I'm going to provide a one-pager visually, I did not have the expectation that ChatGPT was actually going to create what this looked like. Graphics are a little crazy if you have done any with ChatGPT. I know there's much better tools to create any kind of graphics. Just a second here. So I put in that prompt, and this is what it came out with. To create this visually engaging one pager. So it gives me all these things that it wants to walk through. On the other hand, I want to input information to them, to ChatGPT. And so I gave the syllabus and I said the key topics are included here in the syllabus. So then it starts to tell me, okay, here's the main topics that you have. Well, I already have an idea of how I want to outline this visual look for this one pager. So I start to load in my slides, my worksheets, like all of these other things from each week. So I put in here, I want to provide documents to share about all of these over the next few submissions. Here's week 1. I have 14 weeks total to provide you. And so I put in week 1, and then it starts to go through all of this and give me all of this stuff. And I'm like, oh, I don't want this. Like, I want to keep giving you this stuff. So I put in week 2, it starts to do the same thing. And I'm like, I stopped it. As you can see, I stopped it here. And I don't need any output from you yet. So it says, I got it. Feel free to share more files whenever you're ready. So I give, and each time I give more, I say what week it is, and I don't need any output from you yet. So it's letting them know, like, hey, I'm just giving you all of this information. Now you can also, in paid version of ChatGPT, I have built a GPT just with all of the materials that I use for a course. I did not have one for this specific course. I was going to create one. I played with that and I got frustrated with it for a little bit. It's usually not that frustrating. So I thought I'm just going to do this for now. I'm revamping this course anyway, so I'm fine that I didn't have it in its own GPT. So as you can see, I'm loading all of this data, all of these documents. Again, this is on the paid version. I don't believe you can upload the documents on the free version. So I put all these in here. It's telling me, I got all of this stuff. Let's see here. now that you have all the materials, I said, in addition to the syllabus, I want to create a one pager that has visuals and insights on it for what we learned over the last semester in this course. So then it tells me, okay, the overview header, what you want to put in there, a subtitle I could put in, core themes. So it's like the first, second, and third week. Foundations of leadership was probably a good name for it. And then it says you talked about leadership styles, values and ethics, leadership paradoxes. I didn't want all of this text. It felt very, very text heavy. So I'll show you what I did from here. It was nice. It gave me ideas for icons or visuals to include, and then like takeaways to put at the bottom, and even the imagery to use or the closing phrase. So here's what I said. Give me a high-level overview of each of these groupings. So it came back and it said that weeks 1 through 3, which it called Foundations of Leadership, here's the key themes that you talked about in this week. Here's an overview, which is a lot of text in my mind. And then here's the main takeaway from those 3 weeks. And it did the same for the next set and then the next set. And so you could see it chunked these out. And I believe there's 5 total sections where it talks about here's the key themes, here's the overview, here's the main takeaway. And I'll show you in a minute what I did with that insight and that information. And then at the end, I said, if they take one message away from this class, what should it be? And so it says the one message to take away from this class would be, and it gives me this in here. I asked, is this a famous quote from someone? Because it was really, really good. And I didn't know if somebody had said that or not. No, it's not a famous quote. If you prefer one, here's a couple that kind of go with the theme of this course. And then the course is actually called Leadership and the Common Good. So I put a note, I want to tie in the part of the common good, which I didn't feel like was as strong in that closing statement. So here is where it tweaked it for me and talked about the common good in here. So again, this is the information that I was able to get from ChatGPT. Let me go back up here really quick because I want you to see. This is the section. So I talked about the key themes, an overview, a main takeaway. So what I had done from here is I went into Canva. Canva is an amazing tool if you have never used it. Run and go get it. I use the paid version of Canva. So let me click here. And they have a ton of infographic templates. So I took one of those and I used some fall colors for fall semester. Isn't that nice? And tweaked the colors to match what I wanted. So this was originally like an all pink thing. Put Leadership and the Common Good, the name of my course, semester overview. And I found these aligning images so I could use throughout it. And okay, for the weeks 1, 2, and 3, it was Foundations of Leadership. I put my key themes in here. The overview was a lot of information, so I left that piece out. I just want this to be a quick hit to students to say, hey, high level, these are the things that we covered. So if they wanted to go back, they could go back and reference this, but these are the main things. So here's the takeaway for each of those. So let me scroll down. And if you remember that quote, it wasn't actually a quote. This is where I used that here. So this ends up being the infographic size is 11 by 14, something like that. So what I intend to do is get some. I couldn't find any 11 by 14 paper at school today. Oops. So I am going to get some at the grocery store and run that through and make some color copies of this. So it's a nice one pager of here's the overview of things that we talked about. And if you're not going to remember anything else, you're not going to take anything away other than a couple of things, which if we think about the learning, I'm trying to think of what it's called now. How much you remember later on. These are some of the key things that I want students to take away and think about. So I leveraged ChatGPT and the information that I had to help me come up with something that was pretty cool for students. that covers the information that we did. And what I think I'm going to do also is for my management and organizational behavior class, probably do the same thing. I like the look and feel of this and the simplicity of it, and being to the point of here are the topics that we covered and what we did. So that is just one more idea for you on how you can leverage ChatGPT and create something pretty cool from it. So, would love to hear, have you done anything like this? Have you taken any ideas that you have plugged in or worked in with ChatGPT, or are your wheels turning and you're thinking, "Oh my gosh, like I have a great idea I can do for work, for school, for personal, anything like that?" Would love to hear. Drop a note in the comments, and I'll see y'all later.